The New Orleans Pelicans are one of the youngest, deepest teams in the NBA, but with that comes a challenge for head coach Willie Green to ensure the rotation doesn't get stale and predictable. Is the Pelicans' depth a gift and a curse as it relates to the young players getting enough time on the floor?
I don't think so. I think that as a Pelicans organization, they probably like, we need all the depth we can get, especially since BI and Zion Williamson, they have not been on the court consistently for this season. That actually has benefited the young players, and it has given their young players more time on the court, I believe, and the ability for us to see how athletic they are, right? So if you think about when teams want to, improve on their depth, well, the Pelicans got that. They got it. And they got at least two dogs on their depth chart. At least two. That Larry Nance and Jose Alvarado. And I may slide in Jackson Hayes. I just may. You don't want none of them. And they so athletic. I think what happens is that where depth and young athletic players lose minutes is when their starting lineup, when the team's starting lineup is solid and they
Mm.
play all the time, i.e. Boston, right? So their players don't get enough opportunity to get into the game. Not with Pelicans and not with BI and Zion. At least now I would love to see both of them on the court, of course. I mean, come on, the Pelicans, we need them, right? But they're young backup players, role players, getting it done. Still top, the Pelicans are still top six even with the injury that's plaguing injuries that are plaguing them right now. No, I
Hmm.
think I think it is not a gift and a curse for them. Not for this season. I think actually the young players are benefiting because if they're out.
Okay, I think it is a gift and a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's a gift because I think it's a rite of passage that younger players, get to observe first before being thrown into the fire of the NBA. I mean, we've seen the calamity of some young players not showcasing their skill sets. But I think the NBA has identified that problem and created the G League as a result, right? That's how the NBA decided
Yeah.
to address it. But the chances are if a younger player is not seeing minutes on the court, it means that the team is most likely a contender and they're winning ball games and they can't afford to to lose ball games just so that they can get their development. Now, I think Willie Green does a really good job of managing the minutes. I'm looking at Dyson Daniels, their rookie, first round pick, number 8. He's averaging 19 minutes. The only players who do not average double digit minutes is Kira Lewis, who just returned from an ACL tear, and then Seaborn. Everybody else, they're playing 10, 15, 17 minutes a game. So I do think Willie is doing a really good job with that. Now, I also believe it is a curse because injuries happen and young players have to stay ready, have that focus and discipline. It's hard to do when you're new into this establishment and to be ready when your number is called. And sometimes it doesn't always work out for them because what happens after the rookie season, you get rookie extensions and all that. And that could potentially, limit the amount of money that they make in the future if they're not showing their skill sets on the court.
You know what the Pelicans show me right now that if you're consistent and impactful, you will play. That's it. So, and when your number is called, you're ready. I think it has a lot to do with the players and less about the team, the organization. So we know that those young players, some get an opportunity to be have more minutes, come in the game and have a positive impact to the game, and it flops. We know that, right? And
Yeah,
it
we've
may have
seen it.
something to do more so with the player than it does with the organization. Luckily for the Pelicans, they just adopted players or acquired players or traded for players or got players through the draft that just have it in them. They just have it. And so, when you have it and you're able to now show it and it is impactful and consistent, then you should play. And I think a lot of these teams, and I think about the Bulls, right? So if you think about the Bulls and you think about Kobe White, they drafted Kobe White, if I'm not mistaken. I think they drafted Kobe White. He came over. Unfortunately, he got injured, but now he's playing off the bench. He was supposed to be that. Who they had to bring in? They had to bring in Lonzo Ball. Why? 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 Why?
Hmm.
Consistent and impactful, right? And so when I look at the Pelicans, when we're talking about young players can get it done. Sometimes young players don't need to go to the G League. Go to the G League for what? What you in the G League for? We drafted you to play right now. That means that this Pelicans team, those young players were ready to play now. They didn't have to go to the G League to get developed. What? Why? Why I got to go down to the G League when they're not pulling from the G League? The leagues barely pull from the G League anyway to play. Almost the G League is almost like you just wasn't ready. We drafted you, but you really weren't ready. But we're willing to give you grace, and we believe that you could be ready because what we saw when you played in college. The Pelicans, on the other hand, they got these players and they ready. That's what they're showing me right now. And because two core stars are unable to play, they have no choice. And guess what? If you're not showing up, you will be deep down in the depth chart, and you will not see double-digit minutes at playing for the Pelicans. They can't afford it, especially if they're still in the top 6. Mm-hmm. Right? So I say it's a gift. I don't believe it's a curse. I believe it just lets me know that not everybody that's drafted, not every young player that's in the league right now is ready for the big stage immediately. And this lets me know that the players that are on the Pelicans are ready for the big stage, and they don't have a problem showcasing it. They don't have a problem showing their athleticism. And because they're so young and so agile and not afraid, they don't care about getting down and dirty, which is their benefit, right? You know, being young in this league is the golden goose. It's the hot ticket. I mean, I know we like our veteran players and we need them on these squads as well because of their leadership and their experience. But the excitement of the game comes from the young players in most cases. So yeah, no, I think they are benefiting greatly. And if you want to be on a team right now to be a young player, you want to be on the Pelicans, honestly, because you can be a young player in Houston, balling out of control, and who's gonna see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
who gonna see it? I mean, unless it's a scouting report or something, a scout. But other than that, it ain't gonna be nationally televised. Who gonna see it? So I say that they're winning right now. Yeah, no, I think so.
Now, as we get closer to the playoffs, do you think Coach Green will, kind of shorten his rotation, or definitely in the playoffs? Do you think a player like Dyson Daniels, the rookie, is ready to play in the playoffs where the stakes are really high?
It depends. Where is Zion and Brandon Ingram?
Okay.
That's it. He may not have a choice, right? If he had a choice, I would say no. Of course, he wants Zion and Bi on the floor 40 plus minutes in the playoffs. Why not? Yes. So I do believe that their times will be diminished. If those two are healthy, I see that. And we'll see probably you doing good to get 9 minutes, right? Because you're just going to be coming in for a second while the core rests. But if they're not healthy, Willie Green is going to make it work. What's great about it is that they've been playing so consistently now that when the playoffs happen, although it is a different type of game, I mean, it's hard to beat a team in 7.
Oh, yeah.
Because you see them back to back. It's hard. I mean, to beat them in 7. I say back to back, but you guys know what I mean. But it's hard to beat them in 7. So, but I think sometimes the delayed experience is just as detrimental as immediate experience. Sometimes we get coddle the play. They so new. Let's coddle them. Let's give them some time. And then 4 years later, we're like, well, what is that? They didn't put nothing out there. Have they developed enough? Well, no, they didn't get enough time.
And that's where the rookie extension comes in. You're not going to get max deal if we haven't seen.
Exactly. Yeah. And guess what happens? We've had 4 other drafts since then. And now you used to be a young player, are now a mid-age player. And now you sitting on the back. Now you become the journeyman of the league. So no, I say the Pelicans young players right now got it right where they are. And if they have to be traded, they will be going to another team where they potentially can start. That's how good they are right now. And that's how much experience they're garnering with being able to play so many minutes. So sometimes when your superstars go down, it can be a benefit to you as a young player. Not that you want it to happen, but it can be a benefit if you are ready. And I believe the Pelicans players are ready. I think about Brooklyn Nets. All right. So, Brooklyn Nets got young players on their roster as well. They got some old ones too, but they got some young players on their roster as well. But do they impact the game as much as the Pelicans young players do.
Nah,
That's my
yeah.
point.
Well,
It
they
has.
also don't get the same opportunity as well.
Okay. So
Yeah.
then my hat goes off to Coach Willie Green because
Mm-hmm.
he knows how to pull out whatever that it is in his young players to get them to perform, to still
Mm-hmm.
hold on to a top 6 spot in the Western Conference. That's amazing to me. And when you have the right player with the right mindset that is impactful and consistent, then this is what we see.
It's funny that Trey Murphy is only receiving this, time on the floor because Brandon Ingram is out. But his impact. I mean, I just don't know how Willie Green is going to continue to monitor the minutes when BI comes back, which is very soon, I hear.
He will. BI will come back on restricted minutes. But the great thing about the great thing about what Trey Murphy has done is that he's built his stock. It's about stock building, right? So his minutes may diminish over time as the season progressed. Now that BI is back, because you got to get BI back in the rhythm, because we all know that we want BI to be in the playoffs. We know that, right?
Yeah.
But what Trey Murphy has done, he's built his stock. So either it's going to be on the Pelicans or another roster, but he's going to be somebody that somebody wants, right? That you want that as well, right? No, so he is going to win regardless. That's how I see it. Jose Alvarado, is he our next Pat Bear
He
of the
is.
league?
He got that dog.
Is
Oh,
he
he's
different
so
than Dylan
scrappy.
Brooks?
Yeah, he's different. I would say he's different only because of his size and stature. You can't put Jose Alvarado on LeBron James. Dylan Brooks can body up LeBron James.
Because of his strength. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but that quickness though that Jose
Oh,
Alvarado have, I know.
I love it. Yeah, they do. I mean, you look at Devontae Graham
Yeah,
came
nice.
over recently.
Mhm.
Nice pickup.
Mhm.
Larry Nash Jr. finally, when he played with the Lakers, I was like, he's so untapped. But now that he's with the Pels, love it.
He don't have a problem getting bodied. He don't have a problem bodying, and he don't have a problem falling out. And I'm here for all of it. He got that. And I said there's 2 dogs from me that I see on the Pels. It's gonna be Jose Alvarado and Larry Nance Jr.